welcome to this HardOp 007 public demo. There's been many changes since the last version, so in this video I just want to go over some of them while demonstrating some of the changes that have happened and improvements. So if we bring up our user preferences, we can see that we have an option for reversing the X symmetry for people that are right-handed. Under the key map, there's an option to edit the key map, which will open a key map in the text editor. So if you bring up the text editor, you'll be able to go here and literally edit. Let's see, turn on syntax and all that. Here you go. Right here, you can edit the menu. You can edit the pie. That is thanks to Jacques. There's also links to various guides explaining all the tools, in addition to a recommended add-on area. As well, there are additional add-ons that are also recommended. So these are just add-ons that probably will make your hard surface life easier, but now there's at least a recommendation area in HardOps to keep you up to date. So the B width has been revamped, so now you can see there's a cool on-screen display. There's new icons thanks to Adam Knoll, which I still can't get over. They just look so awesome. So we'll just build us a little cube here. It's going to be a cube. Every demo is always a cube. So we'll go to csharp. Sharp has been rewritten to behave completely differently while behaving exactly the same. From here, we'll just pull this in, build our shape like so, adjust our B width to be a bit better. We'll take this piece, bevel it. Now also there is an option in edit mode to adjust your B weight here. So if we want this one to have a particularly lower B weight, we can go ahead and do that. Same with this one here. And this is just simply the bevel weight in action. So we won't even do that in this case. We'll just get it to come out correctly. So from here, we'll cstep and bring in a cube. Cstep will basically bake in all the bevels, so you can also see now that there's a cool on-screen notification thanks to Jacques, who has been helping us with this project for this version. We'll subtract this out and Rebool. Press H to hide the piece. And with this, we can bevel and adjust the width here. Now, basically, Cstepping has seen a significant upgrade, so now you can C-step. It'll tell you an on-screen display letting you know your beveling statistics. In addition to that, subsets are now working and have material indexes, so you should be able to bring them into your scene and easily replace the materials with materials of your own choosing. However, if you are wanting to use custom inserts, I would recommend the Asset Manager for that, which has been released recently and is advancing strong. So from here, I will just merge these two pieces. Since I C-stepped it, the only bevel width I'm affecting is for the new area. I can select this, and under Meshtools, there's X symmetrize. However, I right-clicked it and changed my shortcut to Alt-X, which allows me to now mirror it over. So now I can just mirror it over real quick and proceed. So if you haven't got HardOps yet, then I'm not sure what you're waiting for, because 006 I thought was its final form, and I was pretty content with the condition that it was in and how well it was working. However, now I see that the battle has only begun. So there's been a lot of improvements to try to make the software to make this plugin a lot more accessible and easier to use. For example, this mesh has been C-stepped. If you go in and you S-sharpen and C-sharpen, it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. And this is very important because previously S sharpening and C sharpening a mesh while it was in cstep mode would cause quite an issue. So the mode system has also been completely rethought out and was rewritten thanks to Jacques and AR. So now in the corner of the screen it will tell you the S status of your mesh. If you go and enable degrees or change your metric system, it will move this down in order to not overlap it, which was another last minute glitch that was fixed that I wasn't even aware of. So this piece, we'll take it in private mode for a moment, and I'll press Ctrl tilde to bring up the modifier manager, and we'll just turn off show modifier in edit mode. Let's take a look at what we got here. And it looks like all we had was just a bevel modifier that got out of control. So now we need to look at this one. And it's probably the same situation. So because all the bevels are unlocked to be able to be pushed at their maximum, they can be easily pushed out of limit. So whenever you see step and in boolean, it will reset it, which is another glitch. You know, every time we fix glitches, other glitches come up. Speaking of glitches, the menus now come up even if nothing is selected. This was something that was just driving me crazy. It's like one of the first things that Jacques finished whenever he joined the team. But really, he has made so many changes to hard ops. But really, for this version, there is a large amount of superstars. You know, Król was the one who did the icons. Jacques Lucke did the the HUD that you're seeing here. Overall efficiency was Adrian Rutkowski. Idealization was Jyri / cgstrife, and then pies / the miscellaneous Meshtools was Wazou. So Wazou has also played a large role in this project. However, since he's been so tied up with the asset manager, he didn't have as big of a role in this particular release, but he has also been an integral part of this team. So we're going to put this subset here, and I'm just going to move it off on the side. We'll duplicate it just a couple of times just because we may need more than one. We're going to delete half, mirror half, and we're going to cstep it to bake every previous bevel in. And we'll merge here. We're going to go here, place an insert, and merge here. We're going to go here, place an insert, hold Control to snap, merge here. We will go here and merge. Down here we see that there's an error, and that is probably loops that just should not exist. But there we go, that's cleaned up enough. So as you see, sometimes with hard ops there's a little bit of cleanup, but it's always a fun time. In fact, cleaning up always helps me gain a more intimate understanding of the modeling system and pitfalls and things like that. Like, I'm always trying to bend the system to see how far I can break it. But you might notice that every time I merge, it lets me know that the mesh has been merged successfully, as well as re-notifying me of the mesh state. A lot of this is added here just as a kind of a test, as an experiment, so if you hate it, you are able to turn it off in preferences. If you've been using hard ops since the beginning, you know how these sharpeners and functions work, so there's probably no need for you to have it display everything. But me, I love it. So with this now set up perfectly with our bevels in place, we will cstep to bake it in. I just love seeing this display at the bottom. And now we'll add a different type of insert. In the subsets, there's also these inserts with the letter A on them. These inserts are adjustable, meaning that you can bring them into the scene and make various adjustments on them. They have slightly different behavior then the regular brushes, as well as interactivity with several of the operators. So this is something that we'll probably be going into more depth on in later versions. However, to explain it simply, is a subset is definitely different than an insert. So you want to keep that in mind, because you can insert a subset directly at a face. Subsets will always insert at 0, 0, due to that being specific to that particular function. In fact, if you insert it and it goes into a different area, it comes out looking quite messed up. So it's just not recommended. But as you can see with the inserts, it's so much quicker just being able to bring these in, merge, and mirror. And I just would keep going with this until it's where I need it to be. So even though this has been C-stepped, I'm going to come over here on the side, knife it through, and then I'll come here, select this, move it over, we'll take this, bring it up, and we could sharpen it dramatically, which I think works for this thing. We might stick with that. In fact, we take this, just roll it a couple of times, and slope will definitely look a lot better. We will C-step, which will hide the mesh in edit mode. That's important to keep in mind. And we will just go back under our inserts and bring in more stuff. So just bringing this insert down with the empty on the hook and merging it, we can just take this, mirror it over, and adjust our B width. So the tools definitely behave exactly as I intended them to, and a lot of input has came in to refine things even further. Ivan has played a large role in the development of this tool, being probably the best beta tester possible for this application. Not only is he a capable hard surface modeler, but he's also completely engaged with the tool, following bug reports and all that good stuff. So definitely if you ever need to hire a bug tester, I will solicit you, my Ivan. So from here, I'm just going to, instead of cutting it out, rebooling, I'm just going to select it and C-split and just cut that out. So with this shape, I'm going to extrude inwards. We're going to cancel that bevel. We'll push this down. Actually, we're going to reinstate the bevel, but we're going to lower the width. So now we have our screen in here. So our kiosk is already coming together quite well. In fact, for filler, I implemented these grates, so you can just bring in these grates and just real quickly spruce up the place. Let's see, Z, snap. I'm just trying to snap it while keeping it perfectly symmetrical. So I'll take this and merge. So now there's a grate in front, looking awesome. In fact, thanks to a poster on the forums, thanks to a contribution by Cybrin A. Stuville, now you can select all of the meshes, and under operations there will be a secret option called material link that will basically just link everything's materials. Here we go. So now if we go to the material editor and we look at these, you can see that they all have the same material and share them, instead of them being individually on every insert differently. It was a small problem. All you have to do is just select them and link it, but I'm just letting you know that there's also a button that will do the linking for you. So continuing on with this model, we will take this, and under material list we will go and change this to Kevlar. As far as the mesh tools go, we didn't make a whole lot of changes. We just added the Modifier Helper, the Mirror Helper, and the Auto Mirror Expandable Palette. Now, both of these are pretty much the same. The Auto Mirror is just a pop-up panel. Meanwhile, the this one is just an expandable tab. But basically, if you click Auto Mirror, it'll just bisect it in half, put a mirror modifier on it, using the Mirror Helper, which is a just another fantastic add-on that just did a job better than I could have scripted it. Everything else still the same, you know, just with prettier icons. So continuing on here, we're going to go under Inserts and bring in a switch. We'll just take that switch and place it here. We'll merge it. We'll mirror that over. We'll mirror the geometry over. Let's adjust our B width there, and we'll just go ahead and cstep to lock that piece in. So as you can see, hard ops is definitely better than ever. With every version, there's more users, which kind of makes me a little sad. I wish you guys would have been using it in the earlier versions, because you know the excitement is in seeing these features come in after you've gotten used to the old ones. You know, definitely tried to make it the most exciting plugin possible, and the team involved has definitely been psyched about as well. In fact, they're definitely far more capable than me. They're just amazing. But as a team, we've all pulled out all the stops to make this the best release of hard ops yet. So to you who are users, definitely enjoy. To you who are pirates, also enjoy. And to you who don't have it, go buy it, or pirate it, or buy it. Preferably buy it, but get it, and use it, and love it. You know, the more people that use it, the better an idea I can have as far as what I can change with it. So a lot of the updates that we made to this were to make it easier for certain users to use it and not have issues, because whenever you build a model and it's a failure, it's not a failure on you. You know, like the green arrow, I take that as a failure on me. So you know, also if you're using hard ops a lot and you're making models, definitely post it on the Blender board. Love to see it. Add it to the Pinterest board. There's been no better promotion than the users of this tool, and also to renew my confidence anytime that I start to feel that I might be losing it and that this tool makes no sense and that sort of stuff. Y'all definitely renew my faith. So to all you operatives out there, thank you. And also to you patrons, thank you as well. Without your support, none of this would have been possible. In fact, this plugin is almost there. Almost where I want it to be. So right here, a little bit of garbage, we'll just clean that up. So the most minimal amount of garbage collection at times. For something like this, I personally would bake it out and just use it as a high poly mesh. There's people I know who are trying to use this stuff as lows. I must reiterate that I'm sorry about that. I no longer am doing that. Like, it's crazy to try to send these meshes into Substance Painter. Like, I guess you can, but you could also just clean it, get a really nice bake in Substance Designer, and you're done. So I will roll the B width here to set that up, and it will cut it out and rebool. And crash. So, alright, I'm back. I'll find the source of that crash eventually, but there's one that's like haunting me. I'm not sure what's causing me to do that. I think it's something I did, but it probably is something I did. I mean, I'm a guy using Blender. It's obviously something I did. But continuing on, we're just going to put the keyboard back again. We'll just go here. We'll set the cstep. and then we will merge, and the bevel will be too big, making all this area black. There we go. So now it's back in place, perfect. And with our second chance here, we can go ahead and build things maybe a little bit better than we did before. Alright, we'll take this piece, C-step it, grab this empty, bring it down, select the AP. For these meshes, you pretty much, for subsets, you only have to select the APs in order to merge and the mesh underlying, but you would never select the BB or the OB. What those will be used for will be revealed at another time whenever that tool is complete. Under display, we want to uncheck relationship lines, and our little kiosk is coming together. Everyone's always like, why are you making cubes? Why are you making cubes? I was totally trying to figure out a cube to make, and this is the most cubish non-cube cube that I could think of. So I was trying to make a cube to still be sarcastic, but make something a little more complex to try to impress you guys. But I try you guys. So from here, we also probably want to give it a volume slider. So we'll just bring that in. We'll C-step it. Take this. And lower our B width to perfection. So perhaps in the next version it will keep that B width automatically, more than likely. In fact, it's become a tradition that I mention features and then they become features because of the people on the team. There's so many people, it's hard to remember to credit everyone. So to anyone that I forget, I definitely apologize. It's like just such a long list like that. It's like the whole world came together to help a guy make a hard surface plugin, which is great because I am so ready to go back to modeling. So this is Dukes' camera eye from the Dukes tutorial that will be coming to the Gumroad, and you can even take the text and make edits on it since it's still a text object. But my goal definitely is to create a sort of insert that is something that is to the likes that 3D software is incapable of having except for Blender. And with our versatility, speed, and lightweight interface, we definitely have that sort of potential. So I think inserts that come in and are animated or come in and are light rigs with customizable menus and stuff like that, like those are all definitely cool ideas that can be tinkered and taken to a level that would normally not be able to be accomplished. In fact, Autodesk, if you're listening, I will sell out immediately and start working on Maya, but you have to pay me a lot. But that is options. That is an option that's on the table. No, just kidding. Blender for life. And by changing Maya, I would mean you need to completely tear down and rebuild Maya. So B-width also applies your scale, so anytime you use B-width, it applies your scale. I might make that a toggleable preference for people that just know better. So right here, we'll just C-step a slice in here, and we'll paint that in black. And so already, this is quite a nice kiosk. I'm looking at the recording, and I see that I've only been recording for about 24 minutes here. So, I was expecting this to be like a 1 hour process. So we're just gonna, keep going. We'll C-split that. Under material list, we'll give it a chrome. Voila. And we'll scale it up. C-split. And it cut it off. So now we'll just lower our B width ever so slightly. And now with this piece, we will also give it the same material. So see, one of the pieces is out of range. Out of range always looks like this. So I could just, in fact, let's look at what we got here. We got it being beveled, and then it being mirrored. So that is now corrected. So out of width bevels is definitely one of the main causes of frustration with hard ops. So you definitely want to deal with that whenever you see it, and not just expect it to go away, because there's definitely a reason. And you know, that's one of the things about hard ops is if you know the why of why your surfaces come out the way you do, you can troubleshoot them a lot easier. But if you find that you're still not able to find those answers, then you know, definitely, you know, post on the board, and you know, I'll get to you with an answer, Adrian or Jacques or somebody, you know, like it's pretty active. So for this piece, we're just going to pull that up and make it black. So with that, this Kevlar is complete. In fact, we can bring in a sunlight. This is our piece. So there's a big plane right there. We'll get rid of that. I'm going to save the file because I just don't want to lose it. I'm still playing with materials here. That is something that I think looks a lot cooler. However, this bright white is just bothering me. We'll give that one rough plastic. If you don't have rough plastic, that was a free material they were giving out on Blender Nation one day. I think from like Choco Fur, and I was looking at it and it's like, dang, this is a very nice plastic material. So now it's part of my default scene and part of a balanced breakfast, might I add. So under settings, we'll give it a brighter color in the viewport. Ta-da. So now let's look at this render. So you see, in less than 30 minutes, Kiosk. So with no object selected, we'll just go and choose Renderset 1, and we'll also change the preview samples to 20. So under settings, there's also options to raise the samples. I also put options to change your frame, in addition to a button to let you change it. These are things that we're just experimenting with, but we might get rid of them. And then of course is the legendary pizza ops. So if you're interested in what this does, pick up hard ops, find out. But I'll give you a clue. It'll order you a pizza. You know, for this piece here, I'm going to assign a material. Look at all these duplicates in here. And those are just from the insert, so watch, I'll deal with those. Alright, so I'm just taking a good look at this thing to try to think about what to do from here. Give it a little more roughness. That's pretty cool. So from here, I'll unhide everything, press M, move it to layer 0 because I don't want any of that stuff. And let's think for a moment. So the materials are a little off. We'll select everything and just operations, material link. For this material, actually, we'll select everything, and this is where batch operations will come in. So basically, I just want to select everything that has this material on it, which is basically this. So I'm just going to go at local mode, and we'll isolate it and locate something like this that has a full set of indexes. I'm just going to put in aluminum. We'll put in Kevlar. We'll put in rough plastic, easy spec, and soap bubble. And now the light one can stay because it's just an emission material and I like it. So now if we look at this, everything has proper materials. So no more of that funny business. So what else can be added? Alright, so we'll bring in a cube. Bring it right here. We want to save the file. Don't want to do that, but we do want to save the file. We'll look at this from the side. And we'll select this edge, bevel it. The scale wasn't applied, so it didn't work out. And we'll do C-split. This piece has been cut off. Now it shares the same material. So it's all these little, additional details in it that, adds to the complexity to make these parts look, awesome. So from here, we're gonna give it a C# logo. I added this insert yesterday, so unless you re-downloaded it when you received an email, voila. So this is the C# machine. You walk up to this, you're going to get sharpened. So we look at this object, we see that it's emitting light. Which is strange, I think I'm going to leave that because it looks awesome. One of those awesome accidents. For the rough plastic's still just too dang dark. Ta-da. So, also I see that the aluminum is maybe a little on the sharp side. So we're just going to pop the roughness just a little bit, just by 1. And that will clean it up. And if we let it go for a moment, it'll look pretty darn good. But I already see more details that are needed. So that's where these screws come in. So as you see, I'm a big fan of the subsets. The subsets are like superior inserts, just because they actually merge with the surface. However, they are also a little more dangerous, a little more unstable. There were some crashes with it before the release that we fixed. So it's actually 100 times more stable than it was previously, but I love them. So one day we'll have a subset duplication option. That's something that we're working on our side. However, as of right now, we don't have it yet. So we'll have to duplicate it and then select the APs and place them, which is a bit of a drag, but could be worse. We'll select these pieces we just inserted. We're just going to join them just to simplify it, and we'll take this object's materials and we'll join them. And now I would say that we're getting there. So since this form here has been C-stepped, we can, you know, just cut out any section we want and do anything we want with it. In fact, right here there's a slight bevel error, but I'm just going to let that go since this is a public demo. But whenever you're in C-step, it's important that you keep track of that sort of stuff, because it won't do it for you. Alright, so now here we'll just insert a little piece. And see, we'll take this step, we'll take this piece, C-step it, we'll take this piece, merge it, lower the B width, C-step, mirror across. We also want to go ahead and just link the materials. So with that, I would say this kiosk is complete. So let's put a ground in here. I actually have a ground on layer 1, so I'll just hold shift, press 1 and 2 at the same time to you know, bring up both layers at once. And here's my scene so far. So already looking pretty good. Now the finishing touches, for that we're going to actually use Andrew Price's Pro Lighting plugin. I luckily had the fortune of being able to be on Andrew Price's beta for his lighting plugin, and you know, the whole time I was trying to tell him about hard ops and that he should try it, because you know what would be funnier than Andrew Price learning how to use hard ops and actually making hard surface. You know, you never see it. I think he said he got into Blender to make cars. You know, try some hard ops, man. So you know, the tool is actually really easy to use, and I found it great to use. This isn't me doing a sales pitch for him. It's me literally saying, hey, you can, I can select an object and just choose enabled. For me, I found it was easier to just actually select to put a cube in and then click enabled on that instead. But now whenever I render, I can cycle through lighting setups. So you know, some are hit and miss, you know, but they differ based off of the situation. In fact, we're gonna just cycle through them for a moment. In fact, I'm gonna change my camera lens for the view here to be 80. It looks like it's already 80. And we'll just look at it like so. Maybe lower his energy a bit. So here we go, something nice and contrasty. He even has options here to rotate it. So if you want to rotate it for great effect, you can. In fact, my favorite one, undoubtedly, is blinds. If any Blender developers are watching this, we would love for a faster way to make this loader load. But I know I'm pretty hard on the computer at the same time, so you know, I don't think it's actually displaying it correctly. Alright, there we go. It's looking better now. So yeah, Through the Blinds I thought was a really cool one. This one was one of my favorites out of all of them. Now, in addition to Pro Lighting Ultimate, you know, like I said, I'm not endorsing him. I'm just letting you know my take on his plugin. HDR Lighting Shortcut is one that I found on GitHub. This is probably the best HDRI plugin I've ever seen. You can just go, you click on Load Image, it loads straight to your HDRs, reducing your amount of clicks immediately by like 3. So you can go here. I have a bunch of SIBL, so I'll just load up a background. And so, you know, here's my background. You know, that's a lot of orange, so I'm just gonna not do that because I want a nice thumbnail for YouTube. Wow, these are out of control. And I go with the ENV. It's always like a kind of a nice diffused background. In fact, HDRI, SIBL, I will go with that waterfall. There we go. So now I'll lower the ambient lighting amount to get it just right. And then finally, under color management, I'll change it to my favorite camera, the Canon Optera. We'll raise the gamma, lower the exposure, maybe raise the exposure too. And so with that, I believe I was able to showcase this version of HardOps version 007, and also throw in a little extra about the Pro Lighting Studio Ultimate. I think that's what it's called. But I mean, definitely go check it out. I mean, if you got $100 to spend on a lighting plugin, to definitely do that. But you know, in lesser financial news is Asset Manager. Asset Manager is a connected plugin with HardOps that recently came out. If you haven't picked it up yet, definitely go get it. It manages your asset, it renders your thumbnails, it catalogs it for you, it makes your libraries. The guy is crazy, he's adding features to it. You know, it's like HardOps. If you like the style of HardOps and seeing the development accelerate you know, rapidly because the person's very dedicated, then definitely check this guy out too. So I'll have his link in the description. And with that, thank you all for watching, and happy blending. Alright, so it's not over yet. Instead of ending it there, I want to go ahead and just show you all a couple of other things. So I'm just going to place an empty here. We're going to set that to X-ray mode so it always shows no matter what. And we'll do is select this stuff up above, deselect it down below, and we're just going to parent it to this empty. Now this thing's only going to be able to move up and down, so under transform locks we just want to lock it onto Z. I was going to do this off camera, but I decided to get it into recording for you guys. So, you know, sometimes it's a bit of a time-consuming process. You know, I'm gonna make buttons for this. Let's see. We'll select the empty, select the mesh, Alt H, press B. We'll press Control H, hook to selected object, hide everything, come out of edit mode. So now that part's adjustable. So we select this piece, select this, hook to selected object, select the object, select this. Alright, as far as the screws go, we'll select this, Control H, hook to selected object, and then these things on the side. We'll shift select both of those, Control B, hook to selected object with Control H, hook to selected object, this is the same thing I did on the gun as well. Someone immediately commented when I uploaded it that it was built incorrectly, and by doing this I was able to adjust it dynamically on the fly. So just showing y'all just as something to experiment with. Also, you know, I want to show y'all my new toy. Alright, this piece can just be parented. We'll also parent this. And this is where the video starts getting a little long because, you know, I'm having to do a bunch of repetitious stuff, which is why hard ops exist to begin with. So let's go back to our other view. We'll unlock it for just a moment. So we still didn't get the long stick. Over here, Alt H, or you know, hold Control, drag it, then Control H. Alright, there we go. So that's a little better. So now we can have our kiosk stand up a little taller, which I like a little more. Now if we want, we can lower it down to child's height as well. But it's just a cool little thing to add. Now this thing you see over here on the side is batch operations. It's not my tool, so I'm not going to explain how it works, but it is just awesome. It does so many things that I needed hard ops to do, and it just does it for me. So to wrap this up, what I'll do is I'll save my mesh, and also for the body we're going to settings, material list, we're going to go to CPST, and we're just going to bring in a sun real quick just to see how it looks. So you know, that is the HardOps 007 future kiosk. So with that, actually, maybe not. In fact, what I'll do is I'll hide it, duplicate it, move it to layer 3. On layer 3, under batch modifiers, I'm going to click on hook that will isolate only objects with hooks. I'll click on the hook. It'll apply every hook, meaning this object is now real, meaning that I can go in here and start inserting things again. So I see a few things I'd like to insert before I export it out. So we'll just give this a moment to remember who he is. What is this thing doing? Alright, looks like I'm experiencing a glitch. One moment. Alright, proceeding. And it looks like it's only been about 7 minutes into this extension, so not wasting too much of your time here. We'll just lower that B width, and then let's see, we'll put some holes here at the bottom. And so the difficulty sometimes in booleing a bunch of holes like that is the reason that the grades actually even exist. So with that, we can probably wrap this up. I just want to give the exporter some stuff to pick up on. So for this piece, we'll cstep. We will merge. And let's see, what else can we add just to top it off? You know, our panel wouldn't be complete without a kill switch. There we go. So we'll just take that, place it here, merge it, cross our fingers, hope it goes through. Take that, share its materials with something else that's already been linked, and we are complete. So there's a sun hidden over here. We'll move that to layer 3. And this is what we got. So overall, I am quite pleased with how it looks. So we'll go ahead and take this to the next phase. I'll select everything, and we'll apply. We'll apply to solidify, hook, and everything. So all modifiers have all been applied everywhere. We'll export this and call this Kiosk demo. I'm going to choose to triangulate the mesh, keep vertex order. Just export. Alright, so now I got Octane open. Octane is the final part of this video, just to show you guys. So I recently got a copy of it and have had the pleasure of testing it out. So I just wanted to kind of show y'all how I've been using it with hard ops. So here's my Kiosk. So pretty much, when it comes to render engines external, I approached them just like I approach KeyShot. KeyShot's great to just throw models in, render it, let it render for a bit, have it look sexy, and then just be done, And so this program is the same. In fact, I also have the Blender version where I can also render it in Blender, but it's not as fun in my opinion, especially because the standalone is how they themselves use the software. So I always like to try to fully understand it from their side before going all out Blender time with it. So with my HDR here, we'll just raise the power. And now for the finale, we can actually, let me bring a floor in. I'll pause it real quick, bring in a floor. Alright, here we are. I'm back. So I'm just going to paste these nodes. I just didn't want to go through all the work of bringing it in, since this is like after video stuff. So now you know the floor is there. So now I just need to deal with the materials. When it comes to using the standalone, I like just going to the material DB. I've also been playing with making materials, but you know, for the sake of this video, we will just throw the aluminum on the chrome, throw the dark aluminum on the Kevlar, go under paint, and locate my favorite orange paint. Looks like every loader is just taking its time today. Not that one. That one. Alright, and then under misc is the warm emitter that I always use for lights. And also the soap bubble has to be replaced with some sort of glass. And voila, so now our render is truly ready, except it's not quite ready. You know, the environment is a little dark, so let's get something awesome in here. In fact, I guess I don't know how to scale that yet. Alright, one moment, I'll bring in a light. Alright, so I got my nodes, and we'll just bring in a light here. And take a look at that. So now we have our placement, and I can go here and you know, rotate the light that I've imported. So about there will work. Now we go to the render target. So about there. I still want to perfect that environment. Like I said, you know, I haven't actually had this render engine for a long time. I think I got it like last week. So I am still getting used to it on my side as well. But it is just amazing, at least as far as speed goes, and noise and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, I think someone was asking me for like a comparison between this and Cycles, and really it's not even a comparison. They're very different. Cycles is well integrated. I love how well integrated Cycles is. So as you can see, I tend to locate materials that you know, are pretty much almost there, and then I'll just manipulate them. But you know, the render is like almost immediate on my side. Here we'll go with alright, so about there is perfect. And then under the camera I can just play with the aperture to blur the edges. And then finally under Imager I can you know, get the gamma and exposure exactly where I want it. in addition to adding vignetting if I want that, boosting the saturation, which usually I always do just a little bit, just to get the colors a little bit poppier. They even have this option for hot pixel removal, where if you roll it in, it'll just clean out noise. If you just want it to just render a lot faster. There's even post-processing effects where if you wanted to, say, add gloom to it and glare, you can also. So, it's definitely something worth checking out. I mean, especially if you're buying lighting plugins, definitely check out this dang engine, because this engine is phenomenal. So, with that, that'll wrap it up for this demo. I would of course like to thank everybody who picked up Hardop 007 and who has supported me throughout this endeavor. Without your support, this definitely would have died before it ever would have went anywhere, but because of everyone's continued support, this project continues to grow. I mean, there's times where I just want to work on other stuff, but as long as people are generating interest in Hardops and are using it, then I definitely see no reason to let go of it or discontinue it or anything like that. So, I definitely thank everyone for their continued support and trusting in me in this tool, as well as the the people I mentioned: Adam Król with the icon, Jacques Lucke with the HUD, Adrian Rutkowski with the efficiency, Jyri with the Idealization, and Wazou with the Meshtools / initial pies, in addition to Sebring Struvel for the material link. Everyone has just done such a phenomenal job for this version, so I hope everyone tests it and it's stable and installs right, and you'll have a great time with it. So until next time, happy blending.